This Cavs prospect is shocking everyone right now as Luke Travers has been dominant in the G League for this Cavs team, which is extremely exciting because we know how great this season has been going. And we'll discuss the Cavs win over the Philadelphia 76ers in this video as well. Donovan Mitchell's near triple-double, his comments after the game, everything that's going on with this Cavs squad. But somehow, on top of being the most dominant team in the entire NBA, they have a prospect pool that is continuously growing and maturing that's going to set up this team for success for years here now at this point. Because I know there's been a lot of people excited about Luke Travers coming over and being on this Cavs team and seeing what he's able to do. And frankly, he is even more than we could have asked for. So we're going to break down the Cavs game. Luke Travers' dominant performance out there for the G League team for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And just how great things are going in Cleveland right now. But before we dive into that, folks, we are 50 subscribers away from 1,000, a huge milestone for the channel, and over 90% of our viewers haven't hit the subscribe button just yet. So if you want to stay up to date with daily Cleveland Cavaliers news, make sure you guys hit that sub button so you don't miss a single thing and have the opportunity to be a part of the first 1,000 subscribers on this channel. We're hoping to grow to the moon here. But let's dive into it because frankly, this Cavs team is just on another level right now. And we'll talk about first the Cleveland Cavaliers continuing their historic win streak because it's this talk of the NBA. Everyone's kind of discussing how the Cavs have, well, not enough people, but, more and more people day by day are recognizing the Cleveland Cavaliers are a legit contender out there in the NBA and frankly are just decimating every single opponent that they face. Now, the Philadelphia 76ers didn't have Joel Embiid, didn't have Paul George, but they came out and fought. And obviously, when you're back-to-back win, it's easy to get a little bit lazy, take a couple quarters off and stuff, and usually that's what happens. The Celtics had a couple games like this over the course of the season. The Thunder, all of these teams, right? The top of the top, they're all... It's the reality, right? Like, it's tough to come out motivated when you're just getting so many wins. But the Cavs, even after a first half where things were a little bit ugly, still came out and got a dominant sort of victory out here over the Sixers. And we can take a look at it here right now because the Cavs, right, like, in terms of performances, Donovan Mitchell, again, 23 points, 13 rebounds, 9 assists, was pushing for that triple-double there at the end. He apologized for stat hunted there and that said it won't happen again, but still, ended up, coming out with just a monster all-around performance, especially, late in this game. Darius Garland continues his resurgence this season with 25 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, playing strong defense, just doing everything that you could hope, you could ask, you'd dream of from Darius Garland out there on this squad. And it's similar stories, right? Evan Mobley, you didn't really need that crazy performance from him, but 14 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, did well. 4 turnovers, which is a little bit interesting. But again, the star players on this Cavs team are just able to, come out when they want to turn it on, just turn that wire. That's what all the best teams can do. Will it always work out? No. So if they randomly lose the Hornets to the Bulls, no one's going to be stressed out here in Cleveland land. But basically, it's Jarrett Allen dealing with some injuries right now, still had a strong performance, 32 minutes, 11 points, 12 rebounds. And Isaac Okoro had a solid sort of game, knocked down 3 threes, which is great to see, 2 steals, two-way play, right? Both ends of the floor. And then, Ty Jerome continued only 13 minutes in this game, but 8 points, 2 assists. 7 points for Georges Niang, or 7 points for Karis LeVert. Georges Niang, 8 points. Dean Wade, 6 points. I'm just reading through the box score here to this point. This is like clockwork out here for the Cleveland Cavaliers. There's nothing crazy novel in this game, right? It was an ugly first half. The Cavs came out and just, took a look at the squad. Kenny Atkinson said, hey, let's turn it up. Let's turn up the gas to close off this game. And then you got guys like Donovan Mitchell just putting on remarkable all-around performances to come out and get the W in this one. And it's the same story for the Cleveland Cavaliers here now at this point. The team is just able to come out, get you some Ws, get you some wins, and, it's going to be, it just keeps on rolling. And I'm really pumped for the next couple games because, again, the Bulls gave a pretty tight run in the most recent one, but for the Cavs to continue this 13-game win streak and keep it going, 82-0. We're on that road here now at this point. So, obviously, the Cavs are going to be favorites against the Bulls, against the Hornets, but then the Celtics game, regardless if the Cavs are still undefeated going into that game or not, excited to see the Cavs really face off against the Celtics of the world, the Thunders of the world, the upper echelon teams, the teams that Cleveland's going to be competing with in championship situations over the course of this year. So, very strong performance out there against the Philadelphia 76ers. Nothing crazy, novel, or insight. Just a steady, put in the clockwork win for the Cavs. But one thing that I feel like no one's really talking about right now is Luke Travers breaking out for this Cleveland Cavaliers, for the Cleveland Charge, because frankly, he is looking like another level. Now, he's been a name that's probably familiar with Cleveland Cavaliers fans for a while now at this point, but really, he is making his name known out there for the Charge right now in recent weeks. So to give some context, if you're not familiar with who this guy is as a basketball player, right? Like, so again, Luke Travers, he's 6'7", he's a forward, he's out there, he's from Perth, Australia, and he's had an interesting sort of professional career, right? And, was played for the Perth Wildcats and Melbourne United, played in the NBL down there, and played for a pretty long time, right? Since playing pro ball since the 1920 season, and last year for the Melbourne United, averaged 12 points per game, 7.6 rebounds, 1.9 assists, and was kind of in a position like the Cavs, like, okay, it's time to bring him over into the NBA. And obviously for the Cavs, hasn't gotten much of an opportunity, crazy amount of run. It's played some garbage here in a couple games for this Cavs team, but has made some nice passes, done some different things. But again, the stats aren't really indicative because it's a small sample size, not huge run, not much opportunity. Obviously the Cavs are a bit too good to be thrown in spot. Maybe they could just because they're so talented and so awesome. But basically, the G League's where you're going to see how these prospects are really developing and how your pipeline of talented players are going to be coming up. Because again, the forward position, backup forward spots, probably the thinnest position out there for the Cavs, especially if like Luke Travers playing a lot bigger than he is out there in the G League. And this guy has just been on another level for this team here now at this point. And basically in the G League right now in 2 games, 2 starts, averaging 21 points per game. He is shooting 40% from behind the 3-point line. He is averaging 8 rebounds and 3 assists per night, 2.5 steals, and it's not like crazy, insane athleticism. It is just high basketball IQ. He's picking the passing lanes. He has his eyes. He can make great reads in terms of where players are able to sort of toss the basketball. And he's just picking off those passes just at a very, very high rate. And obviously the defense is kind of the big thing with him. Will he be able to impact on that on the floor? And he's looking very, very solid out there along those lines. But 40% behind the 3-point line as a big forward. Hasn't missed a free throw yet. Taking times 2, 3.5, 7 free throws. Not a big sample size by any stretch, but is coming out and looking dominant. And watching his highlights, watching him play, he almost gives that sort of Paul Pierce-esque vibe in terms of quickness. Because no one ever accused Paul Pierce of being crazy quick or anything like that, but I think he is like more athletic than a Paul Pierce comparison and stuff. But the way he's just kind of shifty out there in those mid post areas, dribbling the basketball, little hesitations, getting that semi post, and then just exploding by people. He's getting to the rim really shockingly well. Out there from one of those like forwards out there, and obviously he's made some gorgeous passes. The assist numbers aren't lucratively high, but just great reads, great feel for the game, great sort of kind of being able to work in the center of an offense and just make plays, facilitate out there for, the Charge right now. And frankly, just an exciting guy to have in that prospect pool. Because we know the Cavs are loaded with star players, loaded with guys off the bench. I've been pushing for the Karis LeVert 6-man of the year bandwagon, but really Luke Travers is a guy that really, obviously this season it's going to be tough for him to get a ton of opportunities unless injuries happen. This team is just so good, so loaded. Max Strus isn't even playing here now at this point, but really for the next couple of seasons, we saw the development he's taken over the course of his NBA career, right? Going from 1 point per game professional and just steadily increasing. Now the G League, right, putting in 20 points per game. You see the development, you see the growth, you see the vision for a guy that, again, is only in terms of his age here, it was 22, 23 years old. This is something that popped up. I thought I'd screenshot it, but basically very, very encouraging guy to have out there in the mix. Born in 2021. That's born in 2001, so very young player himself. But let me know what you guys think about all this Cavs news, everything that's happening in Cleveland Cavaliers. And again, we are on that goal for 1,000 subscribers. Would love to hit it today. Can we get 50 subscribers today? That's how much we're at right now. But anyways, you made it this far. I mean, we spent the last 9 minutes together. Hit that subscribe button. It's free. Anyways, I'm signing out. Cheers.